Welcome to the Larson Legacy Studio, ladies and gentlemen. And thanks for joining us, myself and our executive producer, Brian Larson, for this interesting episode of My Day, My Story podcast. I am your host, MC par excellence, Odimdim Okuri Akbero Jamaye Omo Babagbobani Iboyinbo himself. If this is your first time of joining us on this channel, we thank you for checking us out. And if you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. Please remember to share, like, and comment on today's episode titled Revisiting Who DJT Is and the Truth of Election 2024 in the US of A. Okay, let's plunge deeply into today's topic by thanking our friends on the other side of this political divide for, quote unquote, begging us at My Day, My Story podcast for journalistic objectivity. And that's why your humble host, MC par excellence, ran the comment section through the executive producer, Brian Larson, and he said, let's do it. So, our friends on the other side of the political aisle, be careful what you ask for because you just might be granted a favor by MC par excellence and the crew of My Day, My Story podcast powered by God's grace. So let's start by doing a short exercise called phrase and opposite. It used to be called word and opposite. But because it's not just going to be one word, it's going to be several words in that phrase, we are going to be doing phrase and opposite today. With a heart of gratitude to my Ondobos High School English teacher, Mr. Akinshete, I say, Baba, ibite bawa loni ilereni. There is beauty all around when there's love at home. Time the softly, swiftly glad when there's love at home. When you were teaching me English opposite and word and opposite, phrase and opposite in the early 70s, I never knew it would come to this, but I thank you. Now, Ondobos High School teachers, Elek Bagbewan Titiaye. So I'll state the phrase and the popular suggestion by our friends on the other side of the political aisle will state the opposite. So here we go. Phrase, former prosecutor. Opposite, current felon. Phrase, end results. Opposite, begin insults and amplify them all over again. Name calling should be what you focus on. All right, let's try another phrase. Smile, exude joy, and engage your rally crowd in ways to have hope that democracy should be preserved. And democracy is here to stay. The opposite of that, frown consistently. Spread lies and let your rally crowd start thinking about a repeat of January 6, 2021. Let's try another phrase. Allow females and males of all cultural backgrounds to run for election and national offices. Opposite of that, disallow well-qualified females of any cultural background, even if they are white, to run. Insult them and make sure they gain no traction in their campaign. Phrase, we're not going back to the 60s. We're not going back to the 50s. Let us not continue the tradition that we had in the US. Opposite, we are MAGA all the way. Let everyone get MAGAfied. Let's try phrase, let's preserve democracy. Opposite of that is, let's dabaru everything if we don't win by hook or by crook. There have been examples of that. So let's move on to this. So, viewer, we thank you for taking in this episode. Let's try one or two last phrase and opposite exercise for extra point. Phrase, this is going to be in my native dialect. Oyura eburaje. And the opposite of that is oyura oburaje. That is, the phrase is, he was given the opportunity or she was given the opportunity and maintained decorum. And the opposite of that is, he or she was given the opportunity and insurrection happened. So, fans of My Day, My Story podcast, there you have it. Our fans on the other side of the political aisle asked our channel to be objective, and we carried out their request. Their order. But because it's an election year, there is this bonus point that we are adding to this episode. We had to consult all search engines available on the internet, on the web, that have documented all sorts of books written about DJT and his personality, and also his presidency from 2017 to the year 2021, right up to the insurrection of January 6, 2021. Here are samples of those books. Confidence Man, The Making of DJT and the Breaking of America. Another book, a bestseller also, The True Disloyal, The True Story of the Former Personal Attorney to President DJT. You know who that is. That's Michael Cohen. Rage by a legendary writer, one who wrote way back when Richard Nixon was the president, a New York bestseller by Bob Woodward. While we're at it, I might as well mention two other bestsellers by Bob Woodward, Fear and the Trump Tapes. So, three bestsellers by a legendary writer, Bob Woodward, Rage, Fear, and the last one, The Trump Tapes. There are so many books that will let you, as fans of My Day, My Story, verify on the web everything I have talked about on this episode of My Day, My Story podcast. Let us know what you think in our comments section. And that's where we'll leave it for now. We'll leave things right here. Having satisfied the request or demands, as you look at it, of our friends on the opposite side of things, who accuse us of predicting that the Harris-Walz ticket is the right team to support on November 5th, 2024. So that democracy in America will prevail. We made it all simple by doing that phrase and opposite exercise. It's up to you all to decide who DJT and JDV team is and who the Harris-Walz team is. You do the decoding yourself. It's up to you. Before MC par excellence signs up, I'd like you to support our latest sponsors. Fortubless in Akure Oloyemekun. The CEO, Prince John Folayanka Oyegbile, says, we take the lead when it comes to real estate and land sales in Akure and beyond, in all of Ondo State. Automobile services, event planning, and catering services. He said quality and reliable services await you and that a trial will convince you. A quick reminder also, all Omando Ekimogun, that Ekimogun Day 2024 in DMV and beyond, that is Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia and beyond, will be happening on the first Saturday of November 2024. That is Saturday, November 2nd, 2024. This year's gig features your favorite artist, Seun Adeshemoye. Get ready to be entertained to the max. On behalf of myself, your host, MC Par Excellence, and Brian Lisson, our executive producer, I say thanks for being an important part of My Day, My Story podcast. We'll see you next time and look forward to another great episode. God bless. I'm MC Par Excellence. Thanks for watching. Here's another video to watch. Also, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel.